Okay, so picture this. You've got a head just bursting with ideas, right?
Uh-huh.
Your digital folders, maybe your desktop, overflowing with half-finished projects. And there's that, low hum of anxiety about all the things you just haven't quite gotten around to finishing.
Yeah, that sounds very familiar. I think a lot of us live there.
It really does, doesn't it? For so many of us, it feels like this constant struggle to actually finish what we start, to turn those brilliant sparks into, well, something real, something accomplished.
It is a familiar feeling. And what's kind of counterintuitive, I think, is that often the very drive to do everything, that's what stops us from doing anything much at all. We live in this world of just endless possibilities, and that can feel like a huge weight when we feel like we should be chasing all of them.
Right. And that sets the stage perfectly for what we're diving into today. This deep dive, it isn't about your typical, maybe slightly tired productivity hacks.
Yeah, the ones that often miss the mark.
Exactly. They don't really gel with how our minds actually work a lot of the time. Instead, we're going to unpack a system that's really focused more on mental well-being, strategic focus.
And a mindset shift. A pretty radical one, actually.
Totally. One that helps you build momentum and feel genuinely accomplished without that constant feeling of being overwhelmed.
Yeah, and we'll get into why having fewer goals can paradoxically lead to more success.
Yeah.
And even how to use your energy levels, yes, even your grumpy moods to your advantage. It's quite interesting.
Okay, so where are we drawing these insights from? Because it sounds like it challenges some common ideas.
It really does. A lot of this comes from work by Michael Kolos. He's a coach who, he describes himself as having one of those intuitive idea-generating personalities. Sometimes you see them labeled as ENTPs in those systems.
Right, the idea people.
Exactly. And he talks very openly about how he historically struggled with acting on his own great ideas. Spent his 20s, he says, with amazing project concepts just gathering dust.
Wow, so he gets it.
Well, he gets it. And then he apparently figured out a way to completely turn it around. So that's kind of our guide here.
Okay, so let's unpack that core problem he points to, this idea overload.
Yeah.
Michael describes that really common experience, endless to-do lists spread across all the major productivity apps, dozens of half-finished projects.
And that background noise, that low-level anxiety.
Exactly. It really can feel like we're drowning in our own potential sometimes. But why? Why do we get so stuck on the execution part? Especially those of us who are the idea generators. Is it just the sheer number of ideas, or is there something else going on?
That's a really crucial question. And a key insight, I think, from Kolos and others looking at this, is that a lot of popular productivity advice, the stuff like breaking your day into tiny scheduled blocks or focusing intensely on KPIs.
Key performance indicators.
Yeah, right. Or having these really elaborate systems or just telling yourself to push harder. That advice is often designed for, different personality types. It might work brilliantly for people who are naturally wired for super strict organization. But it often falls flat for those who struggle most with finishing, especially those more intuitive types.
So it's about working smarter with your own wiring, not trying to sort of bully yourself into a system that doesn't fit.
Precisely. Not harder against it.
And this next insight you mentioned, the one that flips things on his head.
Yeah, this one's pretty profound. The Kolos actually states, it's because you think you can do everything that you can't actually finish anything.
Wow, okay. Say that again.
It's because you think you can do everything that you can't actually finish anything. It's a paradox, right?
It really is. How do we, as listeners, how do you actually internalize that? That feels like such a radical shift when, like you said, the natural inclination is often to chase every shiny new possibility.
It is the profound paradox. Believing in limitless potential often leads to, no tangible output, or very little. The real power, the sources suggest, lies in the deliberate, maybe even radical choice to say no.
No to almost everything.
To almost everything, yeah. So you can truly say yes to what matters most to you. It's not about external validation. It's about your internal compass.
Okay.
And there's a powerful analogy used here, the river versus bucket idea.
River versus bucket. Tell me more.
Okay, so think of your to-read pile or your saved articles or your list of potential projects. Don't think of it as a bucket that you absolutely must empty.
Which feels overwhelming just thinking about it.
Totally. Instead, think of it as a river that's constantly flowing past you. And your job isn't to drink the whole river. is just to dip in and pick out a few choice items as they float by.
Ah, I like that. It's like you don't feel stressed about all the unread books in the British Library, do you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's not your job to read them all.
Right, it's on my library.
Precisely. And that same liberating perspective can apply to your own vast pool of ideas and tasks. Just accepting that it's literally impossible to clear every backlog. It's okay.
That feels lighter already.
Good. Because once you accept that saying no isn't failure, but actually a necessity for real accomplishment, the path starts to look clearer.
Okay, so what's the path? You mentioned a system.
Yes. This brings us to the core solution presented in these sources. A really simple, but quite profound 3-list system designed for clarity and momentum.
3 lists. Okay, I'm ready. Step 1.
Step 1. Empty your brain. Get it all out onto what's called the rough list.
Rough list, okay.
This is where you just jot down all your random ideas, tasks, thoughts, everything throughout the day. Put it in a simple digital list like Notion, Google Keep, whatever works. The goal is just to get it out of your head. Create that mental spaciousness.
So you don't feel like you have to hold on to every single thought.
Exactly. Stop your brain trying to be a leaky container. And the source even mentions someone having like 500 plus items on their rough list. It's meant to be big and messy.
500. Okay, so no pressure for it to be neat or curated at this stage.
None at all. The intention here is just pure mental decluttering. Capture everything, every task, every fleeting inspiration, every, oh, I should.
Got it. Okay, so that's the rough list. Then step 2.
Step 2 is where you curate. You regularly review and prioritize items from the rough list onto your active list.
Active list. Okay. How often do you review the rough list?
It depends on what feels right. Maybe end of the day, maybe every few days, maybe once a week. The key is to do it with fresh eyes.
Right. Not in the middle of a million other things.
Exactly. And for each item on that huge rough list, you make one of 3 choices.
In fact, what are they?
1, discard it.
Yeah.
Just delete it. It was a fun thought, maybe, but realistically, it's not worth your precious time. Be ruthless.
Ooh, ruthless discarding. I like that. Okay, option 2.
Option 2, move it to a someday list. This is for things you acknowledge you'll probably never actually do, and that's okay. You have limited time, limited energy, let it go without guilt.
The someday maybe never list.
Pretty much. And then option 3, for only a small percentage of items.
The chosen few.
The chosen few. You move them to your active list.
Okay, the active list. Now this one sounds important.
It is, and here's a crucial detail. The active list must be handwritten, on paper.
Handwritten. Why paper?
The physical act of writing, well, it slows you down. It forces brevity. It makes you think a bit harder about whether something really deserves to be on this focused list.
That makes sense. It's more intentional than just copy-pasting.
Totally. And here's the key principle. The more items you allow onto your active list, the less likely any of them are to actually get done.
Ah, the paradox again.
Exactly. So practice that ruthless discarding we talked about. The source suggests aiming for maybe only 10 to 20 items max on your active list. This is where you're really committing to focus your energy.
10 to 20. That feels manageable. Okay, so we have rough list, digital dump, active list, handwritten, curated. What's step 3?
Step 3 is where the daily magic happens. Commit to the tomorrow list.
Tomorrow list. Okay.
Before you go to bed each night, you look at your handwritten active list and you choose just 1 to 5 items for your tomorrow list. Again, handwritten.
1 to 5. That's it.
That's it. And the advice is definitely start small. Maybe just 1 item for a whole week, get that win, then maybe build up. Close apparently uses 3 himself and suggests 5 is really pushing the upper limit.
Wow. Okay. So resist the urge to load it up?
Absolutely resist. And the key here is also to break these items down. Each one should be doable in, say, no more than a few hours. Ideally, 30 minutes or less.
Ah, so write novel is not a good tomorrow list item.
Definitely not. Maybe write 500 words of chapter 1 or outline scene X. Make it concrete and achievable.
Got it. And then what do you do with this list in the morning?
This is critical. First thing in the morning, you start your day with one of those items, one of your chosen priorities.
Before checking email, before social media.
Yes. Crucially, before any of that, don't check emails, texts, social media first. Protect your priority from the flood of external demands and those easy dopamine hits from notifications.
Guard that first hour or so.
Guard it fiercely. And here's the really important psychological bit. If you finish your tomorrow list, even if it was just that one item, you need to consciously allow yourself to relax and celebrate that win.
Celebrate finishing one small task.
Seriously. Consider your day successful even if you do nothing else productive. This literally starts rewiring your brain. You associate completion, finishing, with positive feelings, with relief, with success, not just endless striving.
Okay, that's powerful. What if you don't finish something on the tomorrow list?
Good question. You simply move the unfinished item to the next day's tomorrow list, rewriting it again, which reinforces the commitment. Or, if you're reconsidering, move it back to the active list to think about later.
And if you keep failing to finish your tomorrow list items,
Then you scale back ruthlessly. If 5 is too many, try 3. If 3 is too many, try 1. Write just one thing down for a while until you consistently finish it, day after day. Build that muscle of completion. Consistency trumps intensity here.
Build the muscle of completion. I like that framing. Okay, so that's the 3-list system. Rough, active, tomorrow.
That's the core of it. But then there are these strategic ways to apply it, to really optimize it for your own well-being and, well, getting stuff done.
Okay, let's hear about those.
Well, a core principle running through this is prioritizing yourself, which sounds maybe obvious, but isn't always practiced.
True.
Most of your energy, ideally, should go towards things you genuinely care about, not just things you feel you should do or things other people are asking for.
So minimizing the shoulds.
Minimizing them, or at least making sure your primary focus, your most important thing for the day, aligns with your own values and purpose. Obviously, some bureaucratic stuff is unavoidable.
Taxes, admin,
yeah. But don't let that become the main thing consistently.
Okay, that makes sense. What else? You mentioned the 2-minute rule earlier.
Yeah, so the classic rule, if a task takes 2 minutes or less, just do it immediately. Get it off your plate.
Simple enough.
But there's a smart caveat here. If you find your day is suddenly filling up with loads of these tiny 2-minute tasks, and it's derailing your main priorities.
Right, death by 1,000 tiny cuts.
Exactly. The advice then is to actually stop doing them immediately. Group them together, maybe add process small tasks as an item on your active list, and handle them in a dedicated batch later. Protect your deep work focus.
Okay. So use the 2-minute rule, but don't let it sabotage your bigger goals.
Precisely. It's about maintaining focus on what truly matters to you that day.
Got it. What was that other concept?
Yeah.
Strategic stacking.
Yes, strategic stacking. This is where it gets really interesting. Blending, like health and psychology.
Okay.
You basically consider 3 things about a task on your active list before deciding when or if to put it on your tomorrow list. First, the energy required. Is it ambitious, creative work, or is it just annoying admin?
Okay, energy cost. Makes sense.
Second, its subjective importance. How much does this task actually align with your deeper values, your life purpose? Is it truly meaningful to you or just functional?
Right, importance to me.
Exactly. And third, this is the subtle one, its orbit. How pulled do you feel towards doing that item right now? This is tapping into your intuition, your current state.
Orbit. Like, how close does it feel?
Kind of, yeah. How much psychic gravity does it have for you at this moment? And the point is, you don't always have to tackle the hardest, most important things first thing in the morning if the energy or the orbit isn't right.
Really? That goes against a lot of advice.
It does. Sometimes waiting for an item to feel closer in orbit, or waiting until you have maybe slightly less energy but enough energy, makes it easier to actually start and finish it.
So it's about aligning the task not just with its importance, but with my actual internal state.
Exactly. Aligning effort with your internal reality rather than just brute forcing it based on external rules.
I can definitely connect with that. It reminds me of the example given, I think it was about a dentist appointment.
Yeah, that's a great one. Other mentions putting it off until it gets to a point where he has just enough juice left to push myself to do something small but annoying.
I know that feeling.
Right. Or maybe waiting until it just feels, I don't know, doable enough. The resistance drops just enough to finally tackle it. It's like intentional, strategic procrastination, maybe, rather than just avoidance.
Okay. Strategic procrastination. That's a new one.
And this leads perfectly into another, let's say, unconventional idea.
Yeah.
Grumpy productivity.
Grumpy productivity. Okay. I'm intrigued.
The idea is when you find yourself in a genuinely bad mood, kind of irritable or grumpy, embrace it.
Embrace the grum. How?
Well, this is apparently the perfect time to tackle those annoying bureaucratic logistical tasks that you've been putting off.
Like taxes. Or cleaning the bathroom.
Exactly. Things that kind of suck anyway.
Yeah.
The logic is your low mood already matches the unpleasantness of the task. So you're not fighting your mood to do something unpleasant. You're leveraging the existing state.
Huh. So instead of trying to cheer myself up to do the annoying thing, I just do the annoying thing while I'm already annoyed.
Pretty much. Lean into it. It can be surprisingly effective.
I have to admit, grumpy productivity, that resonates. There are definitely those days where that low hum of annoyance is just there. How do we lean into that without, just making everything worse?
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
It's not about wallowing, maybe, but about channeling. And it connects to another technique, batching the bad.
Batching the bad, okay.
If you're already in that grumpy mode, doing one unpleasant task, see if you can knock out several similar ones at the same time.
Ah, okay. Like if I'm already dealing with bills.
Pay all the bills, or if you're making that annoying phone call, make all the annoying phone calls. If you're running one tedious errand, see if you can combine a few. The energy cost of starting the unpleasantness is already paid.
Right, the activation energy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So leverage that initial push, but importantly, don't push yourself into burnout doing this. It's about efficiency with unpleasantness, not martyrdom.
Efficiency with unpleasantness. A useful life skill. Okay, what other techniques are there?
There's another clever one called the dangle swap.
Dangle swap. Sounds intriguing.
Okay, so imagine a task feels really hard, almost undoable right now. You dangle a reward in front of yourself, usually something fun, maybe a bit mindless, like playing a video game, scrolling social media, watching a show.
Okay, the carrot.
The carrot, exactly. But here's the swap part. Just before you actually start the fun break activity, you pause, just for a second.
Yeah.
And you check in with yourself. Is there even a tiny flickering flame of willingness right now to do a small part of the productive task instead?
So a last-minute check for motivation.
Kind of. A check for even the tiniest sliver of willingness. The author apparently used this to write the very pages we're discussing, dangled a video game break, paused, felt a tiny flicker of readiness to write, and did that first.
And if the flicker isn't there?
Then you take the break. Guilt-free. The promise of the break is still intact. But sometimes that little pause is enough to capture a moment of micro-motivation you would have otherwise missed.
The dangle swap. Okay, that's clever. It feels like across all these strategies, the real underlying theme is energy management.
Absolutely, it's key. Especially, the sources suggest, for more intuitive personality types. For many people, managing energy is actually more important than managing time.
More important than time management. That's a big statement.
It is. It involves learning to recognize your own energy levels throughout the day. Are you feeling full, near full, maybe half full, near empty, or just completely empty?
Becoming aware of your internal battery level.
Exactly. And then consciously matching your tasks to that level. Full energy, that's for the bold, creative, scary stuff. Near full, making big progress on important projects. Half full, maybe activities that re-energize you or easier tasks. Near empty, that's for busy work, tidying up. And empty, that's purely for self-care. Rest, recover.
So no trying to write your masterpiece when you're running on fumes.
Please don't. It rarely works well.
Yeah.
This whole concept really emphasizes that motivation isn't some, magical lightning bolt that strikes randomly.
Yeah, waiting for the muse.
Right. It's much more like tending a garden. Motivation tends to bubble up naturally when you're nurturing the entire garden of your life.
A whole ecosystem.
Exactly. Things like getting solid sleep, decent nutrition, moving your body regularly, nurturing your relationships, having hobbies that light you up, feeling connected to a community, maybe some mindfulness practice.
Well, the foundational stuff.
All the foundational stuff. And critically, one of the most powerful yet often overlooked sources of motivation tends to be helping others. Seeing the actual real impact your work, your efforts can make in the world. That fuels the engine.
That makes a lot of sense. So pulling this all together, this deep dive really shows us that this habit of finishing what you start, it's not really about finding the perfect rigid system or just hustling harder, is it?
Not at all. It's much more about a really profound mindset shift, one that aligns with how your brain, your energy, your personality actually works.
It's about intentionally saying no, like you said earlier, to most things. So you can give a genuine, energetic yes to what truly matters to you.
Yeah, it's about really understanding your own energy cycles, celebrating those small, consistent wins with the tomorrow list, and designing a system, your own unique system, that works with your nature, not constantly fighting against it.
And accepting that it's okay not to do everything.
It's more than okay. It's essential. Our society often glorifies relentless busyness, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. Busy equals important.
Right. But you don't have to subscribe to that. A really liberating insight from these sources is this. Many of those urgent deadlines aren't actually real, and you're probably not as indispensable as you sometimes think you are.
Ouch. but also freeing.
Exactly. Embracing that can free you up tremendously to focus on what truly, genuinely matters to you. The secret isn't to speed up to cram more in. It's often to actively slow down, to do less, but make absolutely sure that what you do commit to is important by your own definition.
So ultimately, the goal isn't just about ticking off a list, is it? It's bigger than that.
Much bigger. It's about engaging in activities, day to day, that contribute to your actual lived moment-to-moment experience of life and also to your sense of long-term fulfillment. Yes, practical tasks are necessary. We all have them.
Gotta pay the bills.
Gotta pay the bills. But the aim is for your daily, most important thing, that thing you prioritize on your tomorrow list, to increasingly align with your true desires, your core values, maybe even your life's purpose, whatever that means for you.
Making those small daily actions add up to a life that feels meaningful.
That's the heart of it. So maybe the question for you listening right now is this. With this new perspective, these tools, what's that one thing?
That one thing you've been putting off, maybe for a long time, that if you actually completed it would bring you the most satisfaction, or pride, or maybe just inspiration.
How can you use maybe just one idea from this deep dive, the rough list, the tomorrow list, grumpy productivity, whatever resonates?
How will you use it to finally make finishing that thing a habit and start feeling that powerful momentum of accomplishment in your own precious one-of-a-kind life?